Thanks for joining us. Get ready for the NBA here on 2K Sports. It's Saturday night basketball. It'll be the Phoenix Suns facing off against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And now let's toss it over to Kevin Harlan with the rest of the 2K crew. I'll catch you at the break.
Home court belongs to the Timberwolves in this one as we bring you a Western Conference matchup here live from the Target Center in Minneapolis. Here are tonight's starting lineups presented by State Farm. And guys, checking out Pekovic here. What can we expect from him?
Well, Pekovic is really a bruising player, Kevin, kind of old school, 6'11", 290, but he's got a good feel for the game. He knows how to use his body to create angles and find the ball in places that he can score. Good rebounder as well, Kevin.
Yeah, he's good at clearing space to finish inside. You know, he's not shy throwing his weight or even an elbow or two around to get the defense on their heels, to send a message. Phoenix right now in the middle of a road trip. What a story right now for these guys. Win after win. It's been a phenomenal stretch.
Well, this team is a lot of fun to watch. Everything seems to be going their way, but they're making their own breaks now. They're taking advantage of situations and opportunities, but they're doing everything right at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, they've been putting on a clinic, Clark, and it has been fun to watch. I mean, with all the calls and bounces that have gone their way as well, it just seems like this is their time.
Former number 2 overall draft picks don't often fly under the radar, but that's what happened with Michael Beasley in the offseason. I mean, he had some options on where to end up, but the Suns made their pitch and they got it.
The dish now to Dragic. Kicks it to Dudley. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, talking about Beasley, it seemed to me like a pretty good gamble for Phoenix to sign him in the offseason. You see his potential offensively. He can really score the ball. And with Nash on his way out, playing for the Lakers now, the Suns needed scoring, and that's what made the Beasley move make sense.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hey, Kevin. Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Alvin Gentry. The one player on his mind in this matchup, Kevin Love. And it's not for his scoring ability, but for the harm he can do to a team on the backboards. You saw what he can do to teams if he goes unchecked, coach said. We don't want to let him get up and get over 20 or 30 rebounds on us. And to do that, we got to check him out each time a shot goes up. Guys, easier said than done.
All right, Doris. Dragic kicks to Scola. Beasley, the pass to Dudley. He feeds it to Gortat. And goaltending is going to be the call, so they get the basket there anyway.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block, but that one's going to count.
Crowd not happy at all with that call, Clark.
You know what? I hope these officials, Steve, have thick skin, and I know they do because they're hearing it on that call.
Well, it's good to see Minnesota playing so well. Obviously, the Kevin Love piece is the key. He's one of the best players in the league. Ricky Rubio, obviously injured last year, but showed so much promise before that. Derek Williams looks like he'll be a productive player. So this is a team to be reckoned with in the near future.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. 6 on the shot clock. And Rubio kicks to Roy. Shoots over Gortat. Can't hit. The Suns go the other way with it. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Well, watching that game, Kevin, you couldn't help but think it was going to be their night, as well as everybody on the team was shooting the ball.
No question about it, Steve. I mean, you're not going to lose too many games where you have multiple players getting locked in like they were.
And for the Wolves, they had some misses in the draft before, and of course trying to rebuild after KG for a few years, but you can seemingly now feel the thing coming around for them.
Yeah, starting to turn, and the fans really deserve it too, Kevin. I mean, last year, really one of the first years in a long time where the Timberwolves were an exciting team to watch play.
And I'll tell you what, they might want to pay a little more attention to him defensively than they did on that last trip.
Right side, Roy. He kicks it to Love. Jacks up a three. They get it back. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Second chance shot. Oh, that's blocked. Here's Dragic. He's coming off a 13-point game against Indiana. Pass to Dudley. Up top, Gortat. Easily outside. Another three for Phoenix.
Nice job there. He knows how to get that ball in the bucket, doesn't he, guys?
The Minnesota Timberwolves coming to this one following a loss to the Rockets.
That was a tough game for them to lose, guys, because they really played well throughout the game.
I agree there, but despite the result, I think they can definitely take some positives away from it.
Well, what you appreciate about Love's game is the combination of skill and energy. He's become a wonderful three-point shooter. He's always been a good rebounder, but he plays the game so hard, constantly outworking his opponent. And that combination makes him one of the best players in the game today.
And that's no more evident than in his work on the offensive glass. I mean, regularly among the league leaders in offensive rebounds. He knows all the tricks in the book when it comes to getting position inside and doing his work early.
So for the Suns, Steamsma comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Malcolm Lee in for Ricky Rubio.
And for the T-Wolves, this is the second season under Rick Adelman. He runs a great offense. He calls it the corner offense, similar to the triangle. They run a lot of passing off that high post area, a lot of cutting, screening, an emphasis on passing big men and spacing the floor to allow for good cutting angles.
Now here's Brown. Right now averaging 5 points a game. Dishes at the bottom. From 18 feet away. Good as the jump shot falls. Here is Heinrich. 1:19 left in the first.
And, going back to Coach Adelman, guys, I mean, he's always done a good job of adapting to the strengths of his players. That's the mark of a good coach to me. He's a player's coach. He's shown the versatility to get it done in a lot of different ways with a number of different teams.
And that one's good. 59 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And Fry slams it in.
And you really don't want to give up too many dunks like that. One is too many.
Oh, yeah, no, certainly you're right. That's making it way too easy for sure.
Yeah, major breakdown defensively. They've got to tighten things up here.
Now here's Heinrich. Here's Budinger. It's rebounded by Leonard.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
And Steamsma kicks to Heinrich. Over Fry. The shot by Heinrich no good. Suns leading by 9. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Left side Arenas. To the inside. Leonard dishes to Arenas. Another three for Phoenix.
And the long ball really falling for them early.
And they're riding some really hot shooting. I mean, they're running ahead right now in this one.
He gets it up. What an amazing buzzer beater.
Boy, how about that? You want to talk about cool? How about cool Tom Custom?
And I'll tell you what, a split second later, guys, and it's a totally different result.
It's a special New Year's Eve NBA celebration.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, the Suns enjoying a nice lead here.
Big boost from their bench there, guys, in that first quarter. They did a nice job coming in and really giving this team a lift.
Yeah, it's a nice attribute to have. Firepower coming off the pine early. That's good stuff.
Hold on. On the court right now, second quarter starting for the Suns. Dragic and Dudley are the backcourt tandem. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Markieff Morris. And it's Scola in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Rubio the pass to Roy. Love kicks to Roy. Takes it up. Phoenix grabs the miss. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
And a year ago, they avoided any mistakes winning the season series against this club.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, last season, a breakthrough performance for the Timberwolves' Nikola Pekovic. From Montenegro, the 6'11", 290-pound banger was a strong, most improved player candidate. Teammate Kevin Love said he doesn't know anything else other than to go hard. We're happy to have the Eastern Bloc on our side. Guys?
They could make a great tandem. Thanks, Doris.
Yeah, with those two inside, Minnesota has one of the toughest front courts in the league.
And taken away by Roy. He gathers, goes up and lays it nice and easy. Roy's got his second bucket. Suns leading by 11. Steve mentioned the success they had against them in their contest a year ago. They did exactly what they needed to do against them.
Yep, it was a solid performance from them. Most times they got together. They should have them feeling good about their chances today.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Jarrett Williams checked in for Cunningham. Budinger checks in for Andre Kirilenko. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Brandon Roy. And Barea subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Channing Frye. Makes the alley-oop pass. Telfair, he's guarded by Love. Brown, right side. Poke loose. Stolen by Budinger. There's the feed to Barea. Passes it to Heinrich. Over Telfair. Phoenix grabs the miss. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
And Phoenix, I thought, was one of the surprise teams in the Western Conference a year ago. And one of the reasons was that they really played well within the conference. I think a lot of people expected them to struggle against that deep Western Conference, but they played well and I think had a much better record than most people predicted.
Beasley outside. He dishes it to Leonard. Suns moving the ball around. Here's Telfair. No good from outside. Timberwolves trail by 9. And you look at how they played last year. They finished 23-25 against the West, which isn't a bad mark by any means for a 500 team.
Yeah, but the Suns know that hovering around 500 overall and against the West really isn't going to cut it, Kevin. I mean, adding depth up front should help them compete against those tough Western Conference forwards.
Steamsma checked in for Minnesota. Malcolm Lee comes in for J.J. Barea. And a change for the Suns. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Gortat. Heinrich with it. Leonard picks him up. And there's another one for the Timberwolves.
Well, it was a dismal start from the field for them in the first quarter, but they're finally starting to turn it around.
Well, I don't think it could have gotten any worse, partner. I mean, you figure they had all their bad misses out of the way and should be good to go now.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Pekovic comes in for Greg Steamsma. And Kirilenko's subbed in for Chase Budinger. Jared Dudley's checked in for the Suns. Dragic comes in for Sebastian Telfair.
You know, Kevin Love started last season with 8 straight games of at least 20 points and 12 boards. He was the first player to do that since the 1975 season, 37 years ago. That's incredible.
And Dudley kicks to Leonard to end the drought. Offensive rebound. Beasley dishes to Dragic. Bonner. He passes to Beasley. Takes the 3. Rebounded by Pekovic. Pekovic has got his 3rd rebound tonight. And with Kevin Love, we'd come to expect him to be an outstanding rebounder, but his achievement, dancing, his score has been, I think, probably the most eye-opening.
Yeah, 26 points a game last season, 4th in the league, Kevin. Shows you how hard he's worked. You know, when he was in college at UCLA, he was pretty much of an interior scorer. Rarely did he go outside and knock down threes, but now he's one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Ante Cunningham's checked in for Love. Loy comes in for Malcolm Lee. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Kirk Heinrich. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
There had been talk about Brandon Roy coming out of retirement last season. That materialized in the offseason. He had several teams interested but chose to sign with the Timberwolves, and I'm glad to see him back. I hope he can be close to the player he was before the knee trouble saddled.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Love's checked in, and the Suns making a change here as well. Gortat's checked in. And the basket by Arenas.
Those are shots he shouldn't be afraid to take. He can make them. Well, it's great to see Roy back in the NBA, and I hope that his knee troubles have gone. But, man, what a gamble for the Timberwolves to give him $10 million over 2 years. Roy hasn't played at all and had to retire because of his knee troubles. So I think a major risk, and we'll see how this pans out.
Here's Dragic. A rebound by Pekovic. Pekovic has got 4 rebounds in this game. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock.
He tried that leaner, and to me, it probably got him off balance a little bit. Probably should have gone straight up.
And Gortat kicks it over to Arenas. There's the triple. Another 3 for Phoenix. And so that's the end of the first half. The Suns up.
Your Timberwolves now presented by Sprint.
Suns 34.
Good to have you here. This is 2K Sports, and the NBA season is starting to take shape. The Suns are off to a good start. No signs of letting up. They're riding high with this hot streak, and they continue to play well. Gilbert Arenas certainly playing well so far. I don't think anybody could have seen this coming. He's been a major player coming off the bench. And a resilient Timberwolves team is staying in it. They'd like to forget that first half. Coach has not been happy with what he's seen out there, and they'll likely come out with major adjustments. Kevin Love with a rough first half. It hasn't been pretty. He's only got 1 make from the field. Let's get things going with a look.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
It's been fun to watch Arenas in this one. He has 9 points, and he's knocked down 3 shots from beyond the arc also.
Well, he's showing great form on those long-range shots, guys. His fundamentals are solid. He's squared up, balanced, good follow-through. That's why he's knocking these shots down.
Rubio and Brandon Roy manning the back. Kevin Love and Pekovic are inside, and it's Kirilenko in at the small forward. That's the group starting the second half for Rick Adelman.
Guys, I thought it was great to see the Timberwolves fans come back in droves last year to see their team play in Minnesota. And there's a good reason for that. Kevin Love was one of the best players in the league. Ricky Rubio, before his injury, was so entertaining. So good to see the Timberwolves back on the radar screen for their home fans.
And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Fellas, the Phoenix Suns aren't one of the top-tier defensive teams in the league, but last season they did have their best defensive efficiency of the last 4 seasons. One of the possible keys, they simplified things. Jared Dudley said, "We're running just one pick-and-roll coverage and covering the post one certain way. Before, when you had 3 or 4 ways of covering, you'd get mixed up." Kevin?
Well, Doris, sometimes it makes sense to keep it simple. Thanks. Steve, the record for the Wolves finished at 13-20, but a lot of those losses came after Ricky Rubio had the knee injury, the torn ACL. Clark, they were a tough team early on last season.
They were, and if they can stay healthy, Kevin, they'll be just as tough this season at home. I mean, the crowd is starting to pack it in once again up there in the north, and Timberwolves are certainly one of the more entertaining teams in the league, no question.
And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Look at the Suns. Of course, there's the Timberwolves. 7 games back.
I think for the Suns, they've been one of the surprises of the league this season. I mean, not too many people expected them to be in the position they're in right now.
Well, the potential was there from the beginning. I mean, there's plenty of talent on this roster, but the fact that they really weren't expected to have a huge year, I think they used that to their advantage. They were able to kind of fly below the radar a little bit early on.
And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball.
Well, we saw what Michael Beasley was able to accomplish back in Kansas State. Tremendous production that led him to become the number 2 pick in the 2008 NBA draft. But he's yet to make that kind of an impact in the NBA. He still needs to put it together and be more consistent.
Feeds to Dudley. Gets it to go. And it's a 9-point Suns lead.
And you love the concentration. Gets hit, but stays with the play.
Yeah, he showed a lot right there. Plenty of concentration, finding a way to get that shot to fall.
And Clark, when you think about Michael Beasley, who, by the way, is a great friend of Kevin Durant. They grew up together in the Washington, D.C. And Beasley with that tremendous natural talent. What does he need to do to really unleash it?
Well, I think part of it is just attitude and effort on a consistent basis because he's a terrific scorer. He's not rebounded at the level in the NBA that he did in college, and that's a mindset. But I think he's just got to really commit to giving the effort consistently.
And Minnesota has had their hands full guarding against Beasley.
He has 8 points, and he's been successful twice from three-point range today.
And he'd love to make a couple more of them, too, I'm sure. It makes things so much easier for him inside when he's out beyond the arc knocking down shots.
Channing Frye's checked in for the Suns.
And when you look at Nikola Pekovic, the bruising big man, he stepped into that starting center role for the Timberwolves and was a really nice compliment to Kevin Love because Love loves to go outside. Pekovic stays on the inside.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
And that one's good. Love.
Not one of the guys with his size can shoot the ball that well from out there.
And Pekovic, the first pick of the second round back in 2008. You heard some buzz then that he could be a good one, but you really didn't realize that it'd be so long before he came to the NBA and made a stand. And he's done a nice job.
And Kevin, because of the salary structure enforced in the first round, some international players prefer to go in the second round. They can get more money that way. He's certainly due to make a lot of it if he continues to play like he did in year 2.
He's laboring out there right now, guys. The shot has not been falling for him this quarter.
And Rubio kicks to Roy. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. And that's 11 points for Brandon Roy. And there's the pass to Scope. And he throws it down with one hand.
And defensively, you've got to try to keep the ball on the perimeter.
Yeah, he's not going to miss those, not often anyway. The defense has to muscle up and deny him that position to have a chance.
Offensive rebound. And that's good by Pekovic.
It's been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Suns moving the ball around. And Dudley kicks to Dragic. Kicks it out to Beasley. 6 to shoot. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. 13 points for Beasley.
Well, I like that he's come up with some big baskets for this team to help him out in getting this lead.
Roy goes in. Love. And he converts the layup.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in the second half, and I like that. A little smash mouth basketball, taking it inside.
Dragic the pass to Fry. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
You got that right. I mean, he'll do it from three-point land or anywhere on the perimeter, really, because he is a deadly shooter. You've got to do a better job defensively.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Brown, good.
The defense playing way too soft there, guys. He's just getting right to the rim.
The Timberwolves get their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
Well, pretty good numbers this season at the line for this club, right around 78% as a team.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Heinrich with the steal. Gives him the lead pass. Here's Cunningham. Rebound by the Suns. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Here's Leonard. A three-pointer is right on target.
For 3.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game.
Your Timberwolves.
It's a special New Year's Eve NBA celebration. Rudy Gay and the Memphis Grizzlies take on Danny Granger and the Indiana Pacers. Coming your way next Monday.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has a report on our Sprite uncontainable game. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kev, the Suns bench had the uncontainable game in this one. When you can rely on that second unit for a contribution, it's a huge asset, and they've shown the ability to contribute in bunches off the bench, guys.
Doris, thank you. Boy, you can never underestimate, can you, how significant an impact your bench can be?
Yeah, Kevin, especially with the long season in the NBA, the bench plays such a big role because you need energy night in and night out. And I thought these guys did a terrific job tonight.
And you know what, guys? You know the deal. Even if those guys don't play a lot, they're at practice every day getting in their work, going as hard as the big-name guys so that they're always ready when their chance does come.
Setting the floor for the Suns. Scola and Gortat, they're inside. Dragic is out there with Arenas, and it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. Jackson coming off an assist from Arenas. And the Suns lead by 11.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
Now, here's Rubio. He's guarded by Dragic. Roy dishes to Rubio. The shot's good. Roy making the play.
That's an old-fashioned finish there, guys. Going to the finger roll to get the easy 2.
Here's Dragic. Gets it to go.
Again, they attack the hoop from the lane, and it's been really good to them.
Yeah, they're getting whatever they want down there. That's 4 of their last 5 buckets coming in the paint area.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Well, Dragic back with the Phoenix Suns, the team that originally drafted him. Hey, that was me, by the way. Anyway, he got traded to Houston, now back in Phoenix to replace Steve Nash, and it makes a lot of sense. Dragic has experience playing under Alvin Gentry, playing in Phoenix, very comfortable in this environment, and replacing Steve Nash will not be easy, but I think Dragic is probably more suited to do it than anybody else.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Rick Adelman gave to his team during that break. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Heinrich's checked in. Here's Dragic, covered by Rubio. Off his leg, and the ref saying he kicked it.
For Dragic, that's no easy task. He won't outright replace Nash, but he is a very efficient point man and will help transition the Suns out of the Nash era.
I love Jared Dudley, just a pro's pro, great locker room guy, smart, hard-working. He's developed his outside shot over the years and doesn't look overly quick, but managed to stay in front of people defensively.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And Dudley, a former ACC Player of the Year, a great sense of humor. A couple of seasons back, he had a bet with his teammates that he could get 10 dunks in a season. And I don't know if he did it or not, but he tried.
Kevin, I think he barely made it. But you see, he doesn't really take himself too seriously, and that's part of what endears him to his coaches and his teammates. Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
Brown against Heinrich. Rubio left side. Suns leading by 11. And Gortat kicks to Dragic. The dish to Brown. Gortat inside. Misses in close. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Rubio misses.
Shot seems to be a little awry today, just off a fraction. They've got to have him pick it up, though, and soon.
Brown, the pass to Gortat. Taken away by Kirilenko. Heinrich against Brown. Heinrich dishes to Pekovic. Another shot. No good. Now the Suns take it the other way. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. The kick out to Brown. The three is launched. That's good. And the Suns lead by 14.
tell you, they might have to make a defensive adjustment. They can't give him that kind of a look from beyond the arc.
Heinrich kicks to Love. Rubio kicks to Bekovic. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Rubio's got 6 assists in the game. Brandon Roy, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And the Suns making a change here as well. Scola's checked in. 1:24 left to play in the final quarter. Gortat, the pass to Beasley. Beasley left side. Gortat dishes to Dragic. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Beasley kicks to Gortat. He feeds it to Dragic. The offensive rebound. From downtown, gets the bucket. Dragic has got 5 points in the quarter.
They're just giving up a ton of three-pointers.
Yeah, you know, it's tough to close out on a team when they space the floor and they've got guys that can shoot it that way and they've got it going, but you got to find a way.
And that one's good.
Yeah, such a great feel for how a missed shot is going to come off the rim. Really plays those angles well. That's exactly why he consistently beats defenders to the ball.
And taken away by Roy. And now in transition, it's Roy. Here we go. Here's Kirilenko. He kicks it to Love. Right side Roy over Beasley. Roy misses. The Suns have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far.
I like that foul. You don't want to give up an easy 2 in transition.
No, you don't want to give up a layup. Make him earn them from the stripe, and maybe you get a break and he makes only one of the free throws or misses them both.
He misses the free throw. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. And the Suns here with a different look. Channing Fries checked in for Gortat. Markieff Morris comes in for Luis Scola. Gilbert Arenas is checked in for Shannon Brown. And it's Telfair in for Goran Dragic. Budinger. And it's off from three-point range. Telfair kicks to Beasley. Shoots over Barea. And it's Beasley that time, and the assist by Telfair.
And that one should remove all doubt about the outcome of this game. This thing's over.
Now it's just a matter of what the winning margin's going to be.
So it's the Suns winning easily here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Michael Beasley.
Just point out the bounce. Show me the bounce. Yeah. Just point out the bounce. Yeah. Timbo King. Yeah. Young Ho the King. Yeah. Just point out the bounce. Yes. Just point out the bounce. Yeah. Listen, rumor has it the Blueprint Classic couldn't even be stopped by